खबर होय बघ लास्ट हांव तुजे कडेन असो फेस टू फेस असो तोंडान उलयलो पळय दॅट टायम
Uh,
मेळिल्लें थंय खंय तरी. ओके सो वी आर लायव्ह रायट नाव. आय थिंक सो. Go on the
check.
channel and see. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I can see us live.
So, कसली
We are
thumbnail
live.
रे? What is this thumbnail?
Yes, I'll change the thumbnail later on. After the stream, I'll change it.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
okay. Yes. Okay, so what's up YouTube? कशा आसा म्हणजे मंगळपानाचे पावनचे पण हांव वॉबली वैभव तुमचं सगळ्यांचं आयच्या व्हिडिओ मागीर मोगाचो येवकार and I'm what I meant to say, I'll translate in English right now. What's up YouTube? How are you my brothers and their sisters? Welcome to my YouTube channel and today we are going to talk about the 4-0 thrashing of Everton by us yesterday. Come on! So we have our lovely
Come
friend
on.
Vaibhav over here and we both are from Goa Spurs and today we are going to talk about what just happened yesterday because what happened yesterday nobody was ready for it. So
Yes,
Vaibhav, what do you
yes.
feel was different yesterday compared to other games? Because yesterday was a thrashing which we haven't seen under Ange Postecoglou yet. So what do you
Hmm.
think was different yesterday?
Everything was different. First of all, home stadium, the home vibes could totally change a lot of things, and especially the new emphatic left winger that is Mr. Odobert actually changed more than we could think. And so overall, it was a very aggressive and attacking display, which we thankfully were able to pull off very good.
Yes. So what I felt yesterday was different
Yes, sure.
compared to the other games that we play
Hmm.
generally against specifically I'll talk about Everton type of teams because against all different types of teams we have been playing pretty differently.
Yeah.
Everybody says that Ange Postecoglou is very monotonous type of a manager, but I don't think that is the case because I have seen a lot of differences. So the
Yeah.
main difference I saw yesterday was about that I was looking at Kulusevski. He was
Hmm.
linking with Johnson and Porro on the right.
Hmm.
And that was causing a lot of trouble for Everton because they were trying to sort of make a low block over there. And we have seen us struggling against all the low block teams. So yesterday, Angie's move by dropping Sar and putting
Hmm.
in Deki was because what happens on the right is correct me if you don't agree with me, but what happens
Yeah.
on the right is that when there is
Wait,
Pedro.
wait, 1 minute. 1 minute. You can. Don't need to see the screen, right? Tanga screen this
Ah,
study.
actually, I don't need to
Video,
share
yeah.
the screen
Screen
for
sharing.
now. If I need to show something, I'll share the screen. You are right.
Yeah, it will
So
be better.
I just shared it because I wanted to show something later on, but for now we
Hmm.
don't need it. So for
Yeah,
now
yeah.
we won't share it. So what I meant to say, Vaibhav, was that what we have
Yes.
seen till now is that sort of if Pedro is here and then there is
Hmm.
Johnson, both of them are right-footed. So what
Correct.
happens is that when Porro drifts inside
Yeah.
with the ball, Johnson is out wide. And what happens with Johnson is that Johnson is not able to hold the ball and take
Hmm.
his man on. It is not like Son who can take the ball and hold it for 2 seconds. Johnson does everything very quickly, and I won't blame him because that is one of his strengths that he's very, very fast and his ball control is
Correct.
good. So what I felt Ange did yesterday was that because Johnson is a right-footed guy on the right, if he wants to
Hmm.
shoot, he has to do it with his weak foot. And if he
Hmm.
has to pass, he has to go wide and pass with his strong foot, which
Yeah.
becomes a sort of a topsy-turvy problem for him. So what
Yeah.
Ange did to fix this was he put Kulusevski over there. And if you have
Hmm.
seen our system, we keep on rotating our players. We don't keep the players in one position. We
Yes.
often see players switching positions. We see
Hmm.
once at one moment we see Udogi here and Son here, and the other moment they are here. So
Hmm.
that causes a lot of problems for the oppositions to mark our men. And what
Yeah.
Kulusevski was doing was that he was providing what was missing on the right. And
Hmm.
what you see is that SAR against these low block teams is not so effective
Yeah. Yeah.
because SAR is needed for extra defensive work, whereas
Hmm.
these against these low block teams we don't have much danger because they rely on counter attacks, and we have
Yeah.
Udoji, we have a rapid Mickey Van de Ven whose goal I
Oh,
am still not able to relish enough, and then
too
we
good.
have Romero, yes. And then we have Bisuma, who was very, very, very disciplined yesterday in terms of his defensive work. What do you think about Bisuma yesterday?
Yeah. I just knew that Visma was gonna be good because I had a feeling, and he
Yeah.
delivered to it. Very good. Like
Yes,
absolute
and
amazing performance.
let me tell the audience that Vaibhav had already predicted Bisuma's goal and Son scoring a brace. And
Yes.
he had predicted around 3-4 hours earlier, and both of them happened. So
Yeah, I wish I'd bet on it.
yeah, so Vaibhav will give you his Instagram ID if you want to bet or something. Ask him.
For future tips and tricks.
Yes, absolutely. And the second thing, also alongside this, the second thing what I felt was different yesterday was that Wilson Odobert, he's wonderful. He's taking his man on, which we have not yet seen from our wingers, which is pretty strange
Hmm.
because Son used to do it once upon a time. But now
Yeah.
that Son is just 32, but he has lost a lot of his speed
I
and
mean, the players have actually figured out how to counter Sun, so
how
that is
to
also there.
counter Son right now. So, but the thing about Son is that he still has that magic. He still
That's the
can
word.
finish. Yesterday, that Van de Ven's pass, nobody else would have finished it. With all due
Hmm.
respect, not even Richarlison, not even Solanke, nobody could have finished it apart from Sonny. It
Yeah.
was a goal only because Sonny was there. So
Yeah.
that was one thing that Odobert, Son, Madison, and Udogi were linking perfectly on the left, and that is why against Leicester we saw there was no threat whatsoever from the left. But
Yeah.
yesterday you could see majority of the attack was through the left, and
Yeah.
okay, this is not going to happen right now because the Ange
Hmm.
has said that after the international break he'll be rotating squads more. Before
Hmm.
that, an international break starts after the next game. Next game, we go to St. James Park to play against Newcastle.
That will
After
be tough,
that,
you know.
yes,
Hmm.
that will be a pretty tough game. But if we
Hmm.
can pull this off against them,
Hmm.
then that will be a wonderful evening for us.
A
We'll
statement
come to
victory.
that, but before that, we'll speak about yesterday's game. Otherwise, people
Yeah.
will start cursing us because we have mentioned that in the title. So,
Yes.
tell
Yes.
me, tell me what you felt about Bisuma's rocket. Uh,
Bisuma's rocket. Oh, first of all, the Bisuma's rocket was more of a Kulisevsky goal. I have to be true. The dribble
yes,
and
absolutely.
the way he cut off the defenders was really good. The finish
Yes.
was, Bisuma. We saw it at Brighton. Finally, we felt it at Tottenham Hotspur
We
Stadium.
felt it at Tottenham Hotspur, and we hope that he continues doing
Yeah,
that.
hopefully
Yes.
yes.
So we missed Solanke a lot because although Son did a good job, but if
Hmm.
we had a lot of chances, we had 13 shots and we had 7 on target. Do you feel
Yeah.
Solanke would have converted more of them? We could have had some 6-0
Uh,
or something.
But because we saw Richarlison coming on in the second half, and Richarlison did not really get a really good shot on target if you really think about it. So I think one of the underrated factors yesterday was Son dropping back and Madison putting going forward. It is one
Yes,
that goes under the bar, I think, but that made actually a lot of difference than a traditional striker like Solanke would have done.
yes,
What
because
about you?
people don't expect it. And Madison going forward was pretty good. If he got pretty unlucky. He slipped on one instance when there was a long ball ahead,
Right.
but otherwise he would have
Almost scored.
yes, he would have converted it surely. And
Right.
then Wilson Odobert, we just talked about him. He had a wonderful debut. It did not
Yeah.
look like it was a debut in front of 60,000 fans.
Yeah, that's
We
true.
we suddenly signed him and we hadn't heard about him. I had heard a lots of gold and blue people shouting on Twitter and the Twitter going into a total meltdown. But this player, we could call him a budget Doku, can't we?
Yeah. I say he's better than Doku. Hey.
Yes, obviously, we'll back our players to
Yes.
death. For sure. Both of them have one thing in common is that their end product is not so good. If they can fix that, they can become the best wingers in the league. I'm also talking about Doku. I'm also talking about Wilson.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Yeah.
There was one instance what I wanted to show you. I'll just put it on over here, where
But
we could have
I'll
had.
ask you, while we are talking about the wingers, what about the other winger, Brennan Johnson? I thought had an underwhelming performance yet again.
Yes, Brennan Johnson's performance was underwhelming. But the thing
Mhm.
is that, just as I told you, he is playing on the right as a right footed player. And we are
Yeah.
not playing to his strengths. The thing is that if we play to his strengths, and okay, I'm not blaming Ange for this because whatever Brennan is tasked to do on the right, he's doing it.
Mm.
Yesterday, we
Yeah.
could also see, if you noticed, we could see even for that Bisuma goal, we could see Brennan was trying to cut inside more often than not. He was
Yeah.
trying
Yeah.
to take his man
Mm.
on and he was trying to cut inside. He is not
Mm.
that type of a player who is like very attractive and he's not that Luis Diaz type of a player, but he comes up with something every game. Till now,
Mm.
he has not done anything in this game, but otherwise, last season we saw him. that
Yeah.
he had a lot of impact on us. He had a lot of assists for us. So what
Hmm.
happens with Brennan Johnson is that he is a player who is not that close range club, who is not like Bergwall, who is not like he wants the ball
Can't keep
close
hold
to
of the
him.
ball that good actually too.
Yes. He
Hmm.
needs space. Brennan Johnson is
Hmm.
not so technical of a dribbler, but he has a great ball control if you notice, because he has never miscontrolled long passes that have gone to him more often than not.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
he needs space because you have seen last season those balls he used to play in and Richarlison used to finish. That was
Yeah.
because he was having a lot of space in front of him, and people know that
Yeah.
if you give him space, you can see
Yeah.
people don't stay so tight on the left wing with us, but they like go very close to the touchline on the right.
Right
So
side.
the fix for this, what I feel is that
Hmm.
Johnson should play a little inside, but we
Yeah.
can't blame him because that is what Ange tells him to do, to be on the touchline. Because in our
Hmm.
system, wingers are supposed to hold the width. They are
Hmm.
supposed to assist more than scoring. So
Unfortunately,
the
the system does not suit him right now.
sorry.
Unfortunately, the system does not suit him right now.
Yes, the he can
Hmm.
become a very, very good player for us. But for now, the thing is that we don't have the proper how we don't know how to utilize him properly.
Yeah,
The,
that's true.
the second thing is that I don't know why there is no live chat on my stream.
Yeah, I'm also not getting it. Could you send me the link?
Yes, I can send you the link, but how will I send you the link?
Yeah, WhatsApp
Yeah, okay, I'll try. Am I
will be
visible?
better.
Am I still
Yeah,
visible? Okay,
I can
thank God.
I can see your face. Now you're no longer visible. I hope the chat can hear us if it exists. Yeah. Come on, Wobbly, come back.
Yes, hi, can you see me now?
Ah, he's back. He's back. Yeah.
Let me adjust my camera. Okay. So we were talking about Brennan Johnson. We need to play according to his strengths, and his strengths are his speed and his ball control, and his shots are also pretty good. Although he needs to
Mhm.
improve his finishing massively. For now,
Yeah.
I feel that we should bench him and we can use him as an impact sub because he's
Yeah.
rapid.
Completely
So
agree.
against tired legs, he will be a fantastic player for
Hmm.
us.
Yeah.
Like we also saw last season when Hoybier and Johnson used to come on at halftime. We used to
And turn the
hang on
game
to
again.
the track. Yes, exactly. Then
Mm-hmm.
yes. So then the next point what I want to talk about is that Sar against these teams is not effective because he's not so dribbly. What do you think so?
Yeah, I have to completely agree. I think shows his little inexperience more often than not. Like he gives
Yes.
the ball away. He's good at he can do the interceptions, but you can see he lacks a little bit of that what do you call it, pausa that you need in defense.
Pausa.
And
Yes.
yeah.
On the other hand, what I feel is that Sar
Hmm.
is a player who thrives under pressure. Means when the opposition is a very high pressing team, Sar
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Bissouma do very well for us. But
That
when
is
the teams give us time, Sar's decision
hmm.
making is not so good because he
Correct.
overthinks more often than not.
Hmm.
And then
Yeah.
that happens with a lot of our players who tend to overthink. Even last season, we are not able to score. We were not able to score. I'll use were because we scored
Hmm.
yesterday. We were not able to score against low block and mid blocks because we used to
Yeah.
overthink our move. We used to pass too much. And
Hmm.
when you have a lot of time, you don't do things properly. You tend to overthink. What we did yesterday was the best example. We did not overthink. We straight away went for it. You saw that
Yeah.
when Son's goal again. I'm telling you the beauty of it.
Hmm.
Son could have passed to Richarlison or could have passed to Spence back, but Son did not think twice. Son took it and finished it.
That's true.
Then
That's true.
even Bissouma did not think twice. He shot it straight into the goal.
Yeah, even in the beginning, Romero almost scored the first
Yes,
in the two
yes.
minutes.
Romero almost scored, although it was directly at Pickford.
Yeah,
Romero, on the other hand, on his 100th appearance, marked it with
scored.
a goal.
Yeah, yeah,
Marked
yeah.
it with a
He
goal.
needed it.
What
He
do you
needed it.
think? Where does he rank in between the best centre backs in the world right now?
Ooh, controversial opinion. Controversial opinion. I think
Yes.
obviously I have to say he's number one, but realistically, he's there in the top five Premier League defenders at this moment in time.
Yeah.
He can score the
Yes.
goals. He can defend. Only if he can
Different.
get a little better at defending those red cards and not getting the red cards.
I
He will be
swear to
golden.
God. Yes, and
Totally.
just as we are talking about Romero, where does Van de Ven stand for you?
एक मिनट ना, 1 second.
Okay, Saga. Saga. Even I'll be back in 1 second, guys. Don't go anywhere. I'll just be back in a second.
I'm back and he's gone. Arey.
I'll just come back in 1 second. Just
Yeah,
talk to the audience, otherwise they'll leave.
yeah. Hello, audience. How are you all? So, yeah, while Parth is away, what is going on in your life? How is life? Hope everything is good. It's a beautiful day, raining a little bit. It's a beautiful day because Tottenham won yesterday too. I hope today's day gets even more better if Salah scores in my FPL team. Anyway, till we wait for Wobbly to come back, a few more thoughts about the other games because obviously we're gonna continue to talk about Tottenham, but the other games were also interesting. United lost 2-1 to Brighton. Arsenal won 2-0 to Aston Villa, which was surprising because Aston Villa dominated the first half, but the second half Arsenal just came back, and he's back too. Hey,
Oh, hey!
hey,
I'm back.
Wobbly.
The audience,
Yes.
did they run away or are they still there? I have no idea.
Hopefully they are there. Hopefully they are there.
Hopefully they are still there.
Yeah.
I swear to God. We have not
Yes.
shared the link with anyone yet, so let me just do that as well quickly.
I think we have to spread the word a little bit more for
I
people to
swear.
come. You are not audible, unfortunately.
Am I
And Bob is
audible
gone
now?
again. Yeah, you're back. You're back.
Okay, when I switch to uh,
WhatsApp,
WhatsApp,
it turned on. Yeah.
then yes, I was
Mhm.
expecting it to stay on in the background, but it's not. It's pretty
Yeah.
sad, but okay, we'll
Very
we'll deal with
bad.
it. We'll deal with
Yeah.
it. So another thing, what I felt could happen against the bottom half teams in the future was that
Yes.
Spence could play on the right back, and I see
Hmm.
Spence being more effective against these bottom half teams than Porro. And the reason for that is that Spence, although he does not have passing like Porro, but his
Hmm.
dribbling and his close control is insane. And
Hmm. That's
if
true.
we could put Kulusevski, Johnson, and or forget Johnson, if we could put Kulusevski, we could put Odobat, and we could put this guy. Sahil is
Oro.
there. Sahil has come to the stream. Hello, Sahil. Welcome.
Hey. Hello,
Yes.
Sahil.
Yes. So what I was saying is that if we put Spence over there along with these players,
Yeah.
we could destroy any team. I feel so. What do you
Yeah, but I
think of
think he
that?
will take time to settle into the team, right? Because now Poro has been accustomed to the way he play for like a year or two. But for Spence, it might take a little bit of more time. Like after the international break, sure.
Yes, after the international break, surely. What That's what I meant to say is that not now, but eventually
Hmm.
against the bottom half teams. Like the bottom half teams tend to defend against us more often than not.
Yeah.
So we could
Yes.
easily break their low blocks with Spence and
Hmm.
Kulusevski's footwork, I feel so. Then the
That is.
next thing was that what I felt is that there was a lot of discipline yesterday in our recording. Marare, I'm going to play. Okay, it's going to be recorded. It's going there on this. It's going to be saved on YouTube.
Yes.
So yeah, you can watch it later. Side. Take
Yeah,
care.
you can go to play.
You can go to play. Yeah. So what I felt was that we were very disciplined yesterday, and we finished
Hmm.
very well.
Yeah.
And henceforth, I
Except the
feel
one
that.
pass from Odobert, I felt we were good. That you saw
Sorry.
one back pass from
Yes.
Odobert
Yeah.
on the second half. Otherwise, we were very good.
Yes. So
Discipline.
one thing about Odobert which I wanted to one mistake you could call, but only it was only a debut, so I won't be very harsh on him. But
Yeah.
one thing where we could have had a goal, I'll show you. I'll just present my screen right now.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll share
Hopefully,
my screen. Where's that? Okay, this
hopefully
is
no
this.
copyright strike.
Hopefully no copyright strike. That's why I'm streaming using Twitter. There's not going to be an
Oh,
issue.
smart,
So we
smart.
can see this. Okay, look
Yes.
at this. Look at this. This Odobert played the ball this way. Now I'll show you the
Again
replay.
by Madison, and
Hopefully the replay
Spurs get
comes.
another corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Yes,
nice,
look at the
quick and
replay.
incisive.
He cut his
Just
man.
the final delivery.
Nice pass.
He
The
could
ball
have
is
played
crossed.
it to Brennan here easily.
Oh,
If
yeah.
he played the ball this way, this was surely a goal because I know Brennan is going to
Yes.
finish from here. You can,
Yeah.
although we know Brennan has been underwhelming, but this he is not going to miss. We have seen this
Hmm.
happen numerous times last season.
That is
But
true.
Odobert,
Very
I'm
true.
not going to blame him. He tried to pass to Son over here.
Yeah.
Which
First
okay,
match. First match
yes,
worries.
Yes,
Hmm.
and he's just 19, so we don't have to worry about this. But
Oh, he's
on
as
on
young as
on
me.
some yes, on some other yes, exactly as old as us. But on some
Yeah,
other day, this would have proved fatal for us if the day
yeah.
if it was
Could have
like
been final.
yes, if it was against Leicester, I would be shouting his name. So yes, and I
Hmm.
felt that Madison in these two games has been back to the level we wanted him to. What do you feel about it, Vaibhav?
Finally. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You could see his pre-Chelsea form. He's back in his pre-Chelsea form. The
Pre-Chelsea.
unfortunate game. So
Yes.
finally, we can see. But he needs. I think he could improve even more. Like the finish, you saw the mistake. I mean, the goal he missed. He could have done better. I hope. So hopefully, he'll get even better in time. But this good performance. Good performance. What about you?
For real. He's totally dictating the play. He's totally
Yeah, that's.
dictating the play. He's at the center of everything that we do in the past two games. And
Mhm.
we need someone. If this guy gets injured, we need someone to provide that creativity. We
Yeah.
cannot because Lo Celso is set to leave it seems, and I won't blame him. Lo Celso is a fantastic
Mhm.
player, and we have always looked much better with him. But Lo Celso
Mhm.
needs minutes, and his fitness is not good enough because this system
Yeah.
requires he's a lot intense for
Mhm.
Lo Celso to handle, and he
That's true.
gets a lot injured, which will hamper his career as well. And
And ours also.
yes, and ours as well. So it's a good deal for both the parties that he leaves. So we need to not now. It's not a priority for us because we have seen we have Berikbal now, and we have
Mhm.
seen that Kulusevski is also able to be a lot creative over there. But then
Yeah.
still, I feel like we could do with another right winger who is left-footed and another
Mhm.
midfielder who is capable
Not
of
not a
playing
centre
both the
back.
way.
No, I would argue centre back over midfielder.
Yes, but for me, why I
Hmm.
feel that a midfielder is more necessary is because that if all our midfielders, we don't have like a direct eight in them who can like run onto the goal and
Yeah.
score. You have
Make.
seen
Hmm.
McTominay. I am not asking for McTominay because come on,
No,
but
no.
yes, but that sort of a profile who is like lethally who runs onto the goal and like who wants to get at the end of the goal, who makes continuous runs in the boxes and creates trouble for the opposition. We don't have that profile. And why I'm saying this is because okay, we have now we have our two center backs, then we
Hmm.
have Radu Dragushin. Then we
Yes.
have Ben Davis. And we
Davis.
also have Archie Gray, who is comfortable at centre back, which Ange has said. So when
Hmm.
Ange was asked about it, what's his priority? He said that centre back, we are okay. And I sort of agree with him because how many centre backs are you going to need? You have two players and you have two backups for them. So for
Hmm.
now, until Ben Davies leaves, I don't see us signing a centre back because if we sign someone good, they won't look to sit on the bench, right? And
That is true.
dropping Van de Ven, we could drop Romero for Dragushin, but Van de Ven is like very
Undroppable right now.
crucial
Undroppable.
for us, undroppable. Although he will be dropped because otherwise he'll have a hamstring issue. But
Yes.
what I Ange has said it yesterday that I'll just mention this that Ange has said yesterday in his
Hmm.
press conference that these players, Udoji, Romero,
Hmm.
and Van de Ven, have not yet come at their peak, and that's the case also with Bentancur because they have missed a
Hmm.
big chunk of preseason. Also, that's
Preseason.
the case with Richarlison because Richarlison,
Hmm.
as we saw, he did not even play a single minute in the preseason. At least these players
Hmm.
played one game. So we
Yeah.
can't really blame Richarlison. And when he came on yesterday, he looked good to me. Although
Decent.
you can't blame him because by that time we were already like 3-0, 4-0 up.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
the players were not playing with so much intensity and we were like
Hmm.
we were sleeping on it. But
Yeah.
on another day, Richarlison would have scored one or two goals against. He loves to play against that tough.
Yeah. That's true.
Yes,
He would have
yes,
loved to chip in some goals yesterday too, but unfortunately, couldn't
yes.
be the case.
Yes,
Hmm.
exactly. But we can't really blame him for that because whenever you tend to get injured, it affects you. Or it affects
Hmm.
you because,
Yeah.
like, suppose I have not used a pen for like a month. When I start writing, my handwriting will be shit.
Oh. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
for example, what I
That's a
meant
way
to
to look
say.
at it.
Yes.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Then the next thing, Fande when underrated player, we can't describe him enough. What do you say, Vaibhav?
Oh. The other teams are not yet aware of how big of a player we have in our hands right now.
Yes.
I think they will be shocked.
As I said before, I don't know if you read that message, but I said every morning I wake up and I thank God for giving us Pandevan in place of Tapsoba.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah, yeah. I think I
that's
have to
because
start that too.
yes, that's because this player is the fastest player in Premier League history, and he's a centre back, which
Exactly.
which
Yeah.
is which is crazy, obviously. On any
Yeah.
this guy actually pulled off a Pedro Neto yesterday as a centre back. If
Imagine if
you
he scored
remember,
yesterday, it would be so
yes,
nuts.
if you remember Pedro Neto when we played Wolves at our home,
Hmm.
and they
Yeah.
beat us with two João Gomez goals. Well, Pedro
Oh, yes.
Neto for the second goal dribbled all of us, and
Hmm.
then he passed. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what.
yeah.
But he did it on the right front when did it in the middle. That was the difference.
Correct, correct, correct.
When we
Hmm.
talked about all of them and defenders not being at their peak,
Yes.
then yes, this was what was needed against Leicester. I feel so, but unfortunately,
Hmm.
Odegaard did not get a work permit to play over there.
Oh, that was
So
the thing.
yes. So that was the
Hmm.
issue with Odegaard because we signed him on Friday, and so he wasn't registered or sort of thing. And I'm not really aware of that, but there was some issue with the work permit. It seems that's why he
Hmm.
missed that game. Otherwise, in that game we would have also won because
Hmm.
that game was like a wake up call to the all these sort of like draws and like what I call once upon a time losses. These are good for the players to wake up. Otherwise, players feel like,
Hmm.
no, we are going to win every game very easily, and then
Yeah,
they
yeah.
say sort of relax, and then they lose focus,
Take
which
it
happens
easy.
with us
Hmm.
very often.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
This like
Yeah,
next
yeah.
thing what I want the players to do is that they should be
But
calm
wait,
under
wait.
pressure. Yes,
Before we move on to the players, one another the captain of Tottenham Hotspur, I would like to say a controversial opinion.
yes,
Yesterday, he scored 2 goals, which is good, which is
yes.
fine. But I feel he's still not that good enough.
I feel so. Like, okay, what's the I had mentioned it over here. I had made notes, so I mentioned it. I was going to talk about that as well. What we
Good.
have to do with Sunny is that
Hmm.
right now we can't rely on Sunny to create chances. So we have to sort of feed Sunny.
Hmm.
We have to feed him.
Hmm.
Otherwise, he'll finish when he gets the chances. But you sort of need to create for
Yeah.
him. That's
Hmm.
the thing. Sonny will finish all the chances, but you need to create for him because he's lethal in front of goal. But you need to create for him. He can't dribble the 15 players and go and score a goal like he did against
Hmm.
Burnley right now.
Yeah,
But
he's not the old Sonny yet, but he's evolving. He's evolving,
yes,
hopefully.
yes, he's evolving, and we will obviously he's a very experienced player, and he will always manage to do something good. No, it does not matter how bad or good a game he's having.
Hmm. That's true.
Then
That's true.
okay, so the next thing
Yeah.
what I was that's we are done and dusted with Everton. Now the next games that we have, I'll just be back in 1 second because my father is over here, and if he comes and
Yes.
interrupts the stream, then it will become a problem.
Understood.
I'll be
Understood.
back.
Yeah. So while again Wobbly is away, let's talk about another game of the Premier League, which I thought was very interesting. Is Nottingham Forest won 1-0 against Southampton? So that I think kind of confirms Southampton's relegation, because if they can't beat Nottingham Forest, what will they do? And he's back! He's back again!
Ah,
Yeah,
hi guys. So
yeah,
yes, so I told my dad that I'm streaming. Okay, so Vaibhav,
yeah,
now enough
yeah.
of Everton because that game is gone. What's in the past is in the past. Now we look forward to the Everton game. Although I'll forever
Everton,
cherish this game.
Newcastle.
Sorry, not Everton. Newcastle game. Oops.
You gonna play
So
them
yes.
again? The first time was so good, we had to do it twice.
Yes. So we are playing Newcastle at the St. James Park on September
Oh,
1 in India. I don't know about the other
yeah, it's
countries, but it's
mm,
6 p.m. over here.
yeah,
And that game will be pretty tough because we always have a bad game at
yes,
St. James Park. But this season feels to be different, bro. And what I have
yes.
felt from Newcastle so far, today they have a game where they have only played match day one so far,
Hmm.
where they were playing against Everton and they were 10 men, but they still won 1-0. So
Hmm.
what I feel against Newcastle, tell me, Vaibhav, if you agree with me. They are
Yeah.
a team that press very, very high and they press very, very aggressively.
Hmm.
So whenever you hear the word press, by default there
Hmm.
is the thing that Bisuma and Sar should be there in the midfield alongside
Bissouma and
Madison.
Sarr, you reckon?
Yes, because they are going to press very high and they attack very fast. So Sar and
Yes.
Bisuma will be necessary. Okay, Gray can play, but Gray is not
I was about to
so.
say the same thing. Yeah.
Yes,
I
Gray can
slightly
play, but
best.
yeah. Yes.
Hmm.
I'm not saying Gray is not effective against or Gray is not experienced in the Premier League. He has cooked Chelsea, but he's not yet familiar with our play style, which
Style of
Sar
playing.
is, because Sar has been a regular starter in our team. So
Yeah.
Sar knows how we build up from the back, and especially because the midfield role involves like a defensive role, we can't risk
Hmm.
it. We
That
can
is
bring
true.
him on, and we will bring him on eventually. I'm sure of that. But we can't
Yeah.
risk starting him in this team against Newcastle. We could start him against Brentford and all those teams, but not against Newcastle. And so during the build up,
Hmm.
when we have both our fullbacks inverting,
Hmm.
I feel that both our midfielders, two of our midfielders, or either a winger and a midfielder, should drop on the wide.
Oh.
So that when Vicario passes to Romero, he has two options and not only Bissouma. Because
Hmm. That's
okay,
yeah.
we could beat their press 5 times, but if one time they get the ball, they are going to score because their
Yeah.
attack involves Joel Linton, Isak, Anthony Gordon,
Hmm.
Almiron also is an attacker. I feel so.
No, it's sold them. No, Almiron's
Oh,
I think
Almiron
gone.
is sold. Yeah, sorry, lol. Love Zalibad Bodo. Anyways, yeah. So yeah.
Yes.
So yes, all these players they are very lethal in front of goal, especially Isak. We can't risk giving him the ball.
That is true. But I
So we
think
can't.
they also good at defending low blocks sometimes if they need, because we saw against Southampton that they weren't really pushing because obviously they were 10 men down,
Yes,
they 1 man down, sorry.
one
So they
man
can
down,
also
10
sit
men
back
down.
and relax too if you really think about it.
Yeah, yes. So, but I don't think they'll do that against us because we play with a very
Hmm.
high line.
Yeah.
And although we have beaten them 4-1, they have beaten us 4-0 last
Oh,
season.
don't remind me. Don't remind me.
Yes. And even there and the previous season, I don't even need to talk about it. What happened
Yeah.
before at the St. James
Even
Park.
worse.
That
Hmm.
those days, oh God, I was praying for days like this. But but yes, so what I mean to say is that you can't relax against them, not even for a moment. Even if they are a low block, you can't relax against them because Anthony Gordon is very fast.
Yeah, that's true. Very fast
Yes,
and very lethal. Lethal is more important about here because they
yes,
will score if they get the opportunity.
yes, they will score. If 1 second we take our foot off the gas, they are going to score. We can't.
Yeah.
Yes, and with the okay, that's done about the defense. Now, the
Hmm.
four men of the defense are always constant. They won't change against that, and they should not as well. Then the
Hmm.
next thing, what I want to, I hope that Solanke is back for that game because as
Hopefully, yeah.
Ant said that it
Hmm.
was a very very minor injury, and said this
Hmm.
that he could
Hmm.
be back for Newcastle as well, but for North London Derby he'll surely be back unless some other injury happens, God forbid.
Yeah.
But yes,
Hmm.
so what I mean to say is, if there's no Solanke by chance, then
Hmm.
we could put Son at the center forward, and we could put Wilson on the right, and
Right.
Werner on the left. This could be a little. People could call me stupid for this, but Werner on
Oh.
the left against Newcastle will be crucial to stretch them out because I think their right back is Trippier, right, or he has left.
Trippier, Trippier.
Trippier. So Trippier is not so fast,
That
and
is true, but
if
no, but Son can beat Trippier too. You forgotten that. The last
Son
time
can
we
beat.
saw,
Yes,
yeah,
last time was a year ago, sort of, at least
yeah,
six
that is.
months ago. And Son,
Mhm.
so far, Son has not showed a lot of promise. And if we can, I'm saying that put Son at the center forward, and because Richarlison is also not so fit. And
Mhm.
Newcastle, they are not likely to defend in a low block. So if you put Werner, he's already going to stretch them. That will create
Mhm.
space for Son. And I'm not saying Son only should be at the end of the goal. Like Everton, we could have goals from different players. But what I
Yeah,
feel is that this is just an opinion. But Werner, if we have kept him, let's use him.
yeah, that is true.
What do you
That
feel
is
so? Because we can't use him against low blocks because he's that type of a Johnson type of player who is like a more direct
true.
player.
Yeah.
Yes. But you can use him against these type of teams. You can use him against Man City. You can use him against the team which I don't take the name of that team, our North London rivals. I hate to say that
I
name.
got it.
Then
Mhm.
we can use him against all these teams like Newcastle, who are a sort of a possession based team, who are not so low block. But
Yeah,
what I've seen last season is that all the teams tend to set a low block against us because they are frightened.
yeah.
Even those Woolwich wankers were low blocking.
They've seen that low block kind of counters us to some extent, but hopefully we can counter the low block too.
Yes, and I feel so because we have to give Ange time. What I mean to say, if the audience is listening to me, I just want to
Obviously.
give a message that we have to give Ange time. Even if he does not win anything this year, we still have to give him time because our problem has always been that we have been impatient with the managers. We have not given them enough
Yeah.
time, enough resources.
Mm.
Ange has the resources now; he needs only time because
Yeah, that's true.
the thing is that his play style is totally different. You can't you need to be perfect for his play style, and that takes time.
Hmm.
And what I
Yeah.
mean to say with this is that we can see these North London rivals, they have kept Arteta for 5 years now. And what have they won? Dinner plates.
Hmm.
They have won a
That is
giant
true.
saucer, and they have still kept their manager. So
Yeah.
that's what I mean to say. You need to stick to your manager because we can see Ange's football is wonderful, beautiful. It might
So
have
much.
some flaws, but because we can see the flaws from here, but when you are over there on the pitch, it's very hard. And still, our
Hmm.
players are putting in a shift over there. So we need to back our players to the max. What do you feel about it?
Yeah. Surely, Ange has to stay. There's no doubt about it. Hopefully, if he
Yes,
needs more, what do you call it? Artillery. He needs more players. We should also give him. Hopefully, we can. And
yes,
yeah, hopefully, we do something really,
yes.
really interesting.
Because the way Ange has united all of us, I have never seen a manager do that. Not even
Yeah.
Pochettino, because Pochettino was not so connected to the fans. He was like,
Hmm.
because of his language barrier, obviously. But what I mean to say is that Ange has
Yeah.
united us all and given us utopia as well as some
You.
depression. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's been good. It's been good. Then
It's been a.
Werner can literally rip them apart. I feel if we play him on the left and Wilson on the right, because Wilson I have seen he uses his left foot for dribbling as well. Against I've seen him in Burnley. He's more like a Dembele type of a player. I have seen him using his left foot to dribble. So
Hmm.
he can go both the ways. Although his end product needs a fixing, but he can create a lot of problems for them. Because even if
Right.
he takes on two men and passes to someone like Bisuma who takes a rocket, then we'll have a
Hmm.
goal.
Oh.
Yes,
Bisuma needs
dreaming
to
is
score
always
more,
free. Yes. So
right?
I feel so that against Newcastle we need to be very very careful about building up from the back, and we need to take
Yeah.
our chances early. We need to kill their morale. Otherwise,
Yeah.
we need to literally send their fans home. I swear to God,
Hmm.
the way we did at Villa Park, we need to do at Newcastle. Because
Yeah.
even if we need to, at least at halftime, if we are 2-0 or sort of 3-0 up, it will be a very
Hmm.
good thing for us because or even 3-1. Okay, it's fine. 3-1 is also fine because at halftime, because we need to send our fans home because the most difficult thing about St. James Park is their fans because they back their team
Yeah.
a lot.
The atmosphere. Hmm.
Yes, and we need to send their fans home as early as possible so that the whole stadium is only coys, fully coys.
Yes. Only guys.
Yes. So another surprising thing about the Everton game, which I was not expecting, was that there were no cards whatsoever shown by the referee to both the teams.
Was it? Oh my God. That's
Yes,
interesting.
there was no yellow card either. There was no red card. There was no yellow card. Although Everton
Oh.
committed 15 fouls and we committed 11 fouls,
Yeah.
there were no cards whatsoever, which I don't expect from a team like
There.
Everton, who is very physical.
Yeah. That is actually very interesting. Hmm.
Yes. So the next 5 games, if we talk about it, first one is Newcastle. Then there's a break till 15
Okay.
September. Then we have Brentford. Then we have
Oh,
not Brentford. Sorry. Then we have a North London derby, not Brentford.
exactly. Yes.
After the international break, we have a North London derby at home. And
Ooh,
you
home.
know about the
Yeah.
way they are playing right now, we could send them home easily.
You reckon? Yeah.
Yes, I reckon that we could send them home easily because the way they are playing right now, I'm not ruling them out because they have been a very good team. But I can see the players being fed up because
Yeah.
it happens. So like they are sort of frustrated because 2 times it's obviously what we want, that not them not winning is what we want, but what we have seen is
Hmm.
that they have come very close to winning but they have not won, and that has sort of affected the players. And
Hmm.
they are
Yeah.
okay, they are very good at hyping their players, but you tell me what is their best player? Their best player is Gabriel Jesus, who has scored 4 goals last season, and we are calling
No.
Richarlison shit, who has scored 11 goals. Look at the level.
I mean, they are a little bit hypocritical, but yeah, they are
Yes.
what they are.
But one thing I
Hmm.
like about their fans is that they back their team a lot. They are not like us. They won't accept that their players are shit. They'll back them always.
Yeah, that is there.
Our fan base is the okay. No offense to anyone, but on Twitter I have seen a lot of fan bases just yapping because of no nonsense.
Yeah,
They
it
don't have
happens.
any.
I mean, when you don't get the result you desire, you kind of have to crib about it. That's the thing.
Forget the result, bro. I have seen yesterday after the win.
Yeah.
People yapping
Hmm.
negatively. People finding negatives.
Yeah.
Then
You have some pessimistic people in every fan
pessimistic
base, I
people
think.
everywhere. We have one. Will not take the name of that guy. Otherwise, he's going to come here and kill me. But anyways, there's Brentford after Arsenal. We have Brentford on 21st September, which is at home. So I feel like we can easily
It'll
beat
be
them.
easy victory, easy victory. Hmm.
Yes, because I'm so confident about my club right now. We are not losing to Brentford. Then then there's then there's Manchester United at Old Trafford after that on
Oh, that will
29th
be
of
interesting.
September. That can be a tough game, but if you see them currently, we can easily exploit them
Exactly.
because
Yeah.
on the wings they provide they give a lot of space on the wings.
And especially the players are not in form. Absolutely, like
Players are not
Rashford
in
and
okay.
Bruno as well.
Yes. And
Yeah.
against them, I feel like okay, we that's too far to talk about, but I feel that sorry, I feel that Spence will be very good against them to counter Garnacho's speed as or
Hmm.
Rashford, whoever plays on the left is speedy for them. And I feel that he
Correct.
will be good to counter their speed as well as to break their low block because they'll obviously set up a low block against us. 10 heck ball,
Hmm.
prime. Yes.
Yeah.
So we can easily beat them, I feel. We can, in fact, from at this moment, I feel we can beat anyone.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Except Man
But
City, everybody is a cakewalk.
yes. But the thing is that now we are sort of relaxed till September. We are sort of like we just have Premier League. But after that, on
Hmm.
31st August, there will be obviously it will not be the traditional way. But on 31st August, Vaibhav, if you don't know, we have
Hmm.
the Europa League draw.
Oh, the draw. Yeah, interesting.
Yes, because the qualifiers are playoffs are going on, and the second leg and
Hmm.
is on 30th August. So 31st August is the
Yeah.
draw date, which will be done by a
Hmm.
software, which is a shame. But anyways, it is what it is. We can't deny it. And there are
New
more
format
teams, more games.
for the Europa League.
Yes, new format, new format. So it will
Hmm.
be very exciting for us with more games, and hopefully we are able to play all the games
Yeah.
in Europa League. Or
Hopefully,
hopefully we play all the
I'm not
fixtures
seeing
in Europa
anything.
League.
Yeah.
Fingers
Yeah.
crossed. Yes. And
Absolutely.
yes, it was a wonderful game yesterday. I slept so peacefully yesterday. It was a wonderful experience.
Really.
We talked a lot about the game yesterday, Vaibhav. Thank you for being here. And it was like
Yes.
nobody has talked in so detail so far. I have not met anyone. And you will say this guy did not even let me speak. You'll think, but
No, no, no,
that
no.
that's just my enthusiasm as the host. But
Very, very interesting to
yes,
talk to you. Very
yes,
interesting.
it was a I just penned down everything because there are things that the fans tend to often ignore in the game
Overlook.
because
Hmm.
it's like the thing which was with Busquets. When you see the game, you don't see Busquets, but when you see Busquets, you see the entire game. That was that
Oh,
we also have sort of those players who we don't talk
hmm.
about much. Now, yesterday we'll talk about one more thing is that Everton just had one shot on target and
Yeah.
Vicario saved
Hmm.
it, and that was
Yeah.
very close to being a goal. If you had
Yeah.
seen it,
The Vicario
there was very,
contribution goes overlooked.
yes,
Vicario played
Vicario's
very well too.
contribution always is overlooked. If not for
Hmm.
Vicario, we would have not even got into Europe last season. I reckon. What do you feel?
Yeah. Absolutely. I would agree.
Yes, because so far we have not talked about Vicario anywhere. We just talked about the on-field players.
Yeah. But Vicario,
Yes,
I've seen this season, he also pushes a little bit more forward than last year. I feel he's gained a little bit more
yes,
confidence
he's
in his
sort of
saving
acting
also.
like a
And
third centre back.
yeah, absolutely. That's right.
He's
I
doing
feel
a
that
bit
this
of.
season he has evolved his gameplay that way too.
Yes. Another thing, Vaibhav, which our fans did not notice much is that Fraser Foster has returned from a leg injury, which is a
Yay,
big, which is a big,
finally.
which is a big
I
bonus
missed him
for
on
us
the bench
having
for
such
the
an
first 20
yes, having such an experienced player in the dressing room itself is a big gift for us because he's the 34, 36-year-old granddaddy. So yes.
Yeah,
So having him, his contract is another 1 year away from ending. So he'll be a good presence in the dressing room. He and
especially, yeah.
Ben
We
Davies
have seen him on
completed
the
10 years at the
Europa League night too.
yes, and Ben
Hmm.
Davies completed 10 years at the club. What do you feel about
Yeah,
it?
he you saw his trophy. It was like a Ballon d'Or but silver
But
color.
Yes, it was not it was a balón de plata, not a balón de oro. If you don't know, balón de oro means ball of gold. So balón de plata in
Oh,
Spanish will mean ball of silver. So
oh, interesting to know. Good to know.
yes, the Ballon d'Or is a French word.
Yeah.
Like for this thing, I don't know what silver is called in French because I don't know French. But
Uh-huh.
I just had a
In
little
Spanish,
good.
it worked. It worked. It worked. It's fine.
Yes, it works. You understood. I understood. Audience understood enough.
Yes.
Yes, your internet is fluctuating a little bit. I feel okay now.
Oh,
You're back. Hi, Vaibhav. Welcome.
yes.
So, yes, another thing is that Ben Davis, how do you think he has been throughout these years we have been seeing him? What do you feel about Ben Davis?
Oh, absolute rock. I think he's been on the backbone of the team. Helped us when we were down. Even the worst stages, he was a really good performer. And
Yes,
hopefully,
and
another season he can do even better if he is called upon.
yeah, if he's and whenever he plays for the badge. He plays with everything.
Yeah,
If you have seen, he gives his everything to
yeah.
the club. A wonderful player.
Correct.
And Sonny is a godfather to two of his children. So yeah,
Yeah.
they also share a
Hmm.
very good relation in the team. And
Hmm.
the thing with Son, if we are talking about Son again, because you can't talk enough about Son. And
Yeah.
yeah, what about Son? What I feel Vaibhav is that oops, I killed a fly. What about Son is that Son has always been under his own pressure. He tends to take a lot of pressure. And
Hmm.
till now, we were not feeling it until last season. That was because there was
Hmm.
Lloris, there was Kane. Although, even though last season he was the captain, Lloris was there in the dressing room.
That's there.
Although he did not
Hmm.
play, he was there with the players in the training at least. So, it,
Hmm.
just a second.
Yeah. Yeah, as Parth is away against, we'll continue with other matches talks that we'll be doing. So the other interesting game was Fulham won against Leicester, which was interesting too, because Leicester obviously they beat us, they drew with us. It felt like a loss, but yeah, interesting. So Fulham did a and he's back.
Speak about it. I wanted to listen. What were you speaking?
No, just I was speaking about the other games while you were away. We did that little thing that Fulham
Oh,
beat
I see.
Leicester.
Yes, Fulham beat Leicester. Fulham looked solid, although I don't
Yeah.
like to talk about Arsenal players, but Emil Smith Rowe looked very good yesterday for them.
Decent signing. Yeah.
Yes,
Hmm.
decent side. I'm not saying extraordinary, but he was good
Yeah.
against
Decent.
Leicester.
Yeah.
It's Leicester.
Hmm.
Anybody is good against. So,
That is true.
yes. And yes, no offense, Leicester fans. I'm saying this with all due disrespect, but yes, I
I
hate
mean, they
your team,
aren't many,
Leicester.
but yeah.
Yes, yes. I, my sincere message to all the six Leicester fans to not take
Hmm.
offense. So yeah,
Yeah.
so yes. The
So you're
next
talking
thing is
about
that
Sun.
yes,
Yeah.
we were talking about Sonny, and I feel that Sonny, after Loris, Kane, Dyer, all of them have left, Son has taken too much of a responsibility of the players. What I feel is that although I'm not so qualified to talk about this, but what I feel by sitting here on my couch and looking at them is that whenever we concede to the opposition at like sort of against Leicester, we saw that after we conceded, we tend to lose focus when because we miss a lot of chances, and then when the opposition bites back with one chance they get, we sort of get confused, frustrated, and forget the basics. So if you have seen, am I audible, Vaibhav? Hello. You are
You're
not
audible.
audible
You're
now.
audible.
You
You're
are
audible.
not audible now. That's what I was thinking.
I yeah.
So what if you saw Bayer Leverkusen, whenever we have seen them coming back in against all the teams, coming back
Hmm.
against all the teams, because I have seen always Shaka and whoever are the vice captains and captain of their team, always after when they consider goal, they tell their players to
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yes,
Correct. Correct.
that's what Madison, that's what Romero and Son need to do. They need to tell
Hmm.
the players to calm down because apart from these three, all the players are fairly young and they sort of tend to panic when these things happen.
Yeah.
So these players need to take up responsibility because when you are a captain, it's not only about dictating the play; it's also about managing all these things on the pitch.
Yeah. Correct.
What do you feel?
Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. Son, I think he's slowly getting into it. Slowly,
Yes.
and yeah, hopefully
Yes,
he'll be
because
better.
we haven't seen. I don't think Loris used to tell the players to calm down. And
Harry Kane was more of a captain than Lloris was. I felt on
yes,
the
yes,
pitch.
exactly. And
Hmm.
Kane might have told them to calm down, but players would have not understand because he speaks like this. But okay, I was just joking there. But Kane was a good captain. I feel like Kane would have told because against Kane we saw, although we were under Ryan Mason, we
Hmm.
had sort of some good games which gave us a bit glimmer of hope and happiness in those dark times.
Hmm. Yeah, you could
Kane
have.
is a
Yeah.
legend. Yes,
Hmm.
but what I feel is that if Kane was there, we wouldn't have been so good because players would have been dependent on Kane.
Oh, yeah, maybe we can't say.
Yes.
Yeah.
Although Kane would have been brilliant in our team because we saw against that Shakhtar game we played in preseason, Kane
Yeah.
scored goal. But the
Yeah.
thing for me is that
Hmm.
Kane was sort of a playmaker. He was not that sort of a player who runs into the box. And and another thing was that if suppose I'm telling you one thing, like if your
Hmm.
team has a great player in it, you tend to depend on him for doing things.
Hmm.
You don't tend to take responsibility. Now, if you see that all the players are like standout in their own ways. Kane was an
Yeah. Fair.
all-rounder, but now we have
Hmm.
divided the roles. So every player feels that they are valued over here. Otherwise, you think that you are
Hmm.
in a study group and there is an extraordinary smart guy who always tops the class with full marks. Then you will feel
Yeah.
inferior to that guy always. No matter
Yeah.
how close you are, even if you are a 96, 95 guy, you will feel inferior to that guy because he always scores 100.
Yeah. That is true. That is true. Most
So these
you kind of feel like he's the main source. You're just doing it
mean,
for
yes,
just effort.
exactly. These are the things nobody acknowledges in our fan base. Nobody talks about these things, Vaibhav. And
Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. Hopefully they
next,
will after watching Mr. Parth do it.
hopefully they watch for the 51 minutes we have been talking right now. But for me, I felt very good because
Yeah.
this was a discussion between us as well. Although people are listening or not listening, we don't know about it. This was a wonderful discussion between us as well.
Likewise. Likewise. Hmm.
Yes, and whoever is listening now, if you guys think so, you can just plug in earphones and do your work and simultaneously listen to our yapping.
Yup. Exactly. Next time
Yes.
you may also join us if you really want to.
Yes, next time you might also join us if you really want to. And
Yeah.
I think Vaibhav will end over here because we have talked a lot. We have talked about everything till now, and we have
Everything.
talked about it wonderfully. Thank you for being here.
Yes.
Thank you for being
Likewise.
here, bro.
It was lovely. Lovely to talk with you. Hope to do it
Yes,
again very soon.
yes, and don't leave because we'll do outro first. So that is it, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in into this live stream. If you like the video, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and wait, I'll frame it again. My outro,
Yes.
I was translating it into English simultaneously
English
because I
only. Yeah.
generally do it in Cockney. Okay, so
Got it.
I'll do it again, guys. Okay, I'll just vanish and I'll be back. Like so hi guys, thank you so much for tuning in into this live stream. And if you like the stream, please make sure to give this a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, please make sure to subscribe. And we'll see you guys in the next podcast after the next game. Till then, come on, you Spurs, take care, stay wobbly, and peace out, guys. Thank you. Bye
Yeah.
bye.
Yeah.